I'm Mish here from Midsumma Carnival in 2020. I'm here at the stall for Fitted for Work, actually, to interview these lovely ladies who've come to talk about their amazing work they do for women in the workplace.
Hi.
Hi.
Happy Pride, everyone. Happy Pride, Mish.
So tell me what the importance is of being here at Midsumma for Fitted for Work.
Well, we help women find work and sustain work, and we really wanted to come to support our community. We run a transgender program. We support women of all ages and women, transgender and non-binary people, and we're here to support our community.
Well, the stall looks absolutely fabulous. So many amazing outfits. So I take it everyone can come in, try on different outfits from different professions if they like, paint some nails by the looks of it as well, and it looks like you're giving away a pack as well. So this looks absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for sharing with us, and have a fabulous midsummer. We're here today at Midsumma Carnival and coming to speak now to the Switchboard Victoria. I'm with the CEO, Joe Ball. Hi, Joe.
Hi.
How are you finding today talking about Switchboard with folks at Midsumma Carnival?
Look, it's fantastic to be here, and lots of people are coming to the stalls and telling us what they like about Switchboard, and also people wanting to come and volunteer, and some people, even we've been hearing from some people who use our services and coming to thank us for the work that we do.
Well, you've had some exciting things that have been happening for yourself as well, connecting with the bushfire relief and going out to rural Victoria. Do you want to share a bit about what you've been finding when you go out there?
Yeah, sure. So last Sunday I went out with Commissioner Ro Allen to Bairnsdale, which is one of the major evacuation points and where they're having the major bushfire response for East Gippsland and parts of the other part, the Alpine region. So we went out there, we went to the Incident Control Centre, and we met someone from CFA Pride, and that was incredible to meet him, thank him. And we did, so in the ICC we did a lot of thanking on behalf of the LGBTI community for the work that's happening there. And then we had a public meeting afterwards with LGBTI community members who've been affected. And so absolutely people are really struggling out there, and as a rainbow community we need to be thinking about them. We need to be thinking about climate action, and we need to be thinking about ourselves as like through illness and health, I think, like as people are really having a really tough time at the moment.
If anybody wanted to actually join with Switchboard and help as a volunteer during this time as well, how can they do that?
Yeah, sure. We've got volunteer intakes happening in the early part of this year. You can go onto our website, www.switchboard.org.au, and there's forms you can fill out. But another thing you can do is, not everyone's got time to volunteer, because volunteering does take up a lot of time. Perhaps a really good way to do, if you can, is just to donate some money, or run a fundraiser for Switchboard is another way.
Beautiful. Thank you, Joe, so much for your time, and have a happy midsummer. Hi, Mama Mish here from Midsumma Carnival. I am here with the fabulous Rebekah Robertson, who is manning the Transcend booth here today. Hi, Beck, how you going?
I'm doing really well.
Yeah?
A little sweaty, but
I think we all are. I'm not looking forward to the thunderstorms later. How are you finding today with the engagement from the community, especially when it comes to trans youth?
Oh, amazing. There's so much interest from right across the board. We've had lots of really great conversations with people within the community and allies who are just passing through, and families who haven't yet made a connection with organisations that can support them. So it's been wonderful.
I do have to do a quick little plug, especially while we're here as well. I had a chance actually to have a read of Rebekah's book, going along the journey of what her and Georgie went through, and gives you more of an insight of just their story, the challenges they went through, more than the things that people always wanted to ask, but just the personal things. And I have to say, if you get the chance to actually go back and listen to the audiobook where Beck actually does do it herself, and you can hear the emotion in her words and the story along. So I want to say thank you again for sharing so much of that. That would have taken so much out of you and Georgie to share that story. And please, anybody, if you get the chance, get the audiobook especially, or the book, because it means so much to hear these stories. And you took me on a journey along the way, even from my own transition alongside you at the same time. It was really fabulous. And to see the kids now here who are actually grown so much, who have been along the side with Transcend, and even Marin, come please, come here. Marin is actually now working with Transcend. Marin's working with, you're working with Geelong now, and set up a Geelong chapter.
Yes, we have set up a Geelong chapter. So we've got representing Geelong and the Surf Coast.
Yeah, you all are just growing so much and representing so much, and thank you so much from just as a parent, as someone who was, a trans youth kind of at one point. Your parents are doing an amazing job. So here we are from Midsumma Carnival. Mama Mish, talk to you soon. Here we are at Midsumma Festival. I am Mama Mish, and I'm joined today by the lovely Kamish, who has just briefly popped in here at the Transcend stall because I think the Kamish just was desperate to jump on camera with me. How are you going, Kamish?
I'm going well. It's quite humid, but
it is.
Everybody's come out, and that's what Carnival's all about.
How fabulous is this? I think this is the biggest I've seen the Carnival yet.
Well, I said I'd spend about an hour walking around the stalls. It's been an hour and a half. I think I'm halfway around. So
really?
That's an idea about how many people are out here today.
I've yet to actually get around and see around the different stalls myself. I've been too busy working on my own stall. So what are the fabulous things that you've got lined up for here for Midsumma for yourself?
Well, in about an hour, I have a very serious responsibility to do. I have to judge the dog show. Now, I get lobbied. I have to declare conflict of interest. The queers take their dogs very, very seriously, Mish.
That's what I hear. It's very popular every year. So do you have any favorites yet, or is there any tips? No,
I don't have any favorites. And as far as I know, none of my close friends or family have put a dog in this year.
Oh, thank God. Well, Kamish, as always, it's lovely to catch up. Are there any other events beyond Midsumma Carnival that you really are highlighting for yourself, or things you're hoping to point out?
My number two is always the Carnival first, and then the Pride March itself to finish up at the end. And everything, the selection, if you can't find something at Midsumma this year to do, you're not looking in the program, because there's something for everyone. I
was going to say, there's some amazing things in into the actual program. I booked out so many tickets myself. I can't wait. Well, thank you again for joining me today here at the Transcend stall. Mama Mish, we'll talk to you soon.
Last night in my dreams, all the machines.
Mama Mish here from Midsumma Carnival. I am joined just now with Ange Berry, the CEO of Joy FM. Hi, Ange. How are you today?
I'm good, Mish. How are you?
I'm doing great. Now, as always, Joy has an amazing presence here at Midsumma Carnival. What are I guess some of the fun things you're hearing from people or connecting with people here at the Carnival?
Absolutely. The Carnival's great opportunity for Joy to be able to reach out to our community and say, hey, have you been listening to Joy? Do you know we're in iHeartRadio? Do you know we're streaming through our website? Do you know the range of shows that we have on air? And I just actually met a few young people and I said, do you know we've got a youth show? And they're like, oh, okay, that's really cool. So yeah, it's great.
There's some amazing things we actually are doing at Joy coming in the year. It's been fabulous with you coming on board and so many amazing ideas. I'm looking forward to jumping on myself a little bit later and connecting with the community further.
Most importantly, for the whole Pride season, Joy is really giving a voice to our community throughout Pride. So please tune in, please listen to us, and please support us as well. We're here today at Carnival to reach out to our community and say, keep us on air. We're one of 4 LGBTIQA+ radio stations in the world, and we're community run, volunteer-led. We need your support.
And you're starting to see Joy become so much more diverse than it has in the past. And I know that some of the things that people have complained about is the diversity. And one of the things as a Joy member as well and a Joy volunteer, I see amazing diversity popping up and some of the best diverse shows as well on Joy that we're starting to really push out and broadcast and really starting to get really innovative with the things we're doing.
it's something I'm really passionate about, and particularly in the next 12 months, inclusion in the voices on Joy to me is really, really important. I noticed since joining Joy, obviously we're an organisation that's still evolving and still understanding our own community and making sure that everybody has an equal voice, and I think we've got some work to do, but we do have great diversity amongst our programming already, and we will continue to grow that diversity.
Thank you so much for your support as well, as a trans woman to you, but also for our community. You are listening to Ben TV, Mama Mish. Talk to you soon. Here we are at Midsumma Carnival with Mama Mish and Sally Cunning. Hi, Sally. How are you today?
Hi, Mish. I'm very well. Yourself? Loving Carnival.
Likewise. One of my favorite elders, a part of the community, someone I can really just have a bit of a good laugh with. Now, how are you finding Midsumma Carnival as an elder, as a trans woman?
I look around and see lots and lots of young people having a great time in this great big expanse, and I see this incy little space in the bottom of the valley. Seems like the gorge, where they've poked a tent where the oldies can come and have a cuppa. They're not thinking about the older folk enough. There's not enough seating for older folk. There needs to be shade out here where all the people are milling. Why can't we have chairs for the older folk so they can sit there and tell their stories for the younger folk and stuff like that?
Thank you, Sally, for letting us know. And what we'll do is we'll try to go and pass that on as well to the folks at the head of Midsumma. I might have a connection for that and see what we can do about making a change for that next year. Mama Mish here from Midsumma Carnival. I am joined by Dan DeRochefort, the president of Globe. Hi, Dan. How are you?
Good, Mama Mish. How are you?
I'm doing well. Dan, how are you finding Midsumma Carnival today?
It's absolutely fantastic. I'm so glad that the sun is out. There's some beautiful people here today of all different kind of genders and sexualities, so it's a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day. Dan, tell us some of the fabulous things that are going on with Globe and why you've come here today to connect with the community.
Yeah, look, absolutely. So we are an organisation for LGBTI professionals, small businesses and allies, and we provide spaces for people to come and network professionally and socially, and so we just want to come and meet everyone today to spread the word about what it is that we do. And maybe sign up a membership or two.
Nice. I think one of the misconceptions people have about Globe is that they believe it's very much a business gay men's session only, and it's not true. And there's a lot of work that's going on for queer women, non-binary, trans folk as well to connect.
Yeah, most definitely. So we're establishing, hopefully later this year, a trans and gender diverse networking function that'll be similar to our Globe networking sessions that we run once a month. And we're also doing one specific for the LGBTIQ women of our community and having their own space where they can network and get out of it what it is that they'd like.
It's amazing to see so many things beyond even things like healthcare, mental health, and just looking at things like business and moving on, I guess, with our transitions or with our lives and just living that normalized life.
Most definitely. Look, we've got a great partnership with TGV. We've got a great partnership with Switchboard. We ourselves don't necessarily do an awful lot around health and well-being, other than providing people a space for them to be themselves. But we certainly work and support those other groups that do that really hard and really needed work.
Well, I think one of the best things about me as a trans woman within the business space is you don't see many folks like yourself out there. And so I think one of the best things is being able to bring others like you in one place to have a cup of coffee, have a cup of beer or whatever you want to have, and just, you know, connect and talk about some of the things and challenges we have, but also have a good laugh.
Most definitely. I mean, I've met some beautiful people at Globe networking events, and some people that I call very close friends. And so, no, I met you before, Globe. Calm down.
True.
Yeah. And so, look, I think it's really great that we're able to provide this space for the community where they can be safe, where they can connect on different levels, whether that be professional or otherwise. And they don't have to have a drink. They can have a cup of coffee or a glass of water. We always provide some great canapes and snacks, and just get along with each other and kind of connect on that different level.
Beautiful. Dan, thank you so much for your time today.
Oh my God, it's so cute!
I'm talking with Meredith from Seahorse, Victoria. Meredith, how are you enjoying today at the carnival?
It's good. It's great. A lot of people, a lot of colour. Seen every single kind of outfit you can imagine.
What sort of brings you along to the carnival?
Well, I'm transgender and I'm part of Seahorse and we have a stall here. My daughter wanted to come as well with some of her friends. Just want to state for the record that our car on the way up was 50% non-binary, which is really good statistics, I think.
That is very good statistics. Seahorse is helping sponsor a tent we call Trans Central Station, and I think that's very important. And I think you are the one that coined the phrase.
I may have been.
Yes. Hello, I'm Greer, and with me is Jaco, the director of the Monash Gender Clinic. Jaco,
Hi, Greer.
It's lovely to see you at Midsumma. What sort of role do you find Monash Gender Clinic?
Well, this is the third year that we've been here, and I think it's what we've really enjoyed is actually just being present in the community. We were quite stunned actually for the first year or two. People came up to us and had never heard of the Gender Clinic. We're the only state-funded gender clinic in Victoria, and people hadn't heard of us. So it was that shocked us, and so actually being here, telling people who we are, what we do, I think is the most important part.
And are you finding you're getting a lot of people now passing the stall and inquiring about it?
Loads of people, and it's very nice. People who know nothing about gender, just wanting to ask a few questions. Little kids coming in, asking their mum, "Hey mum, what's that?" And that's really nice because it's teaching the new generation about gender and gender diversity.
I know you've now been director for a number of years. How have you been holding up as the head of a gender clinic?
It has its ups and its downs. As with a lot of these positions, I think that it comes with a lot of responsibility. I'm very proud of the clinic. We've got some amazing staff, but there are certainly lots of challenges. There's a lot of pushback from all sorts of different directions, and so it has its good days and its bad days. But we've got our head above water and we're floating.
I'm Ali.
Ali, the Elizabeth Morgan House, what is that about?
So we're a family violence service that supports Aboriginal communities. We support people who are fleeing or experiencing family violence.
Is Elizabeth Morgan House attached to any particular other organisation?
No.
It's a standalone.
Just standalone. Yeah.
So how did you manage to get funding for it?
Get funding. Well, it's DHS funded. Yeah. So through the government. Yeah.
So is it Australia-wide or just Victoria?
It's just in Victoria. So we've got a refuge, and we can support anyone from anywhere in Australia. But our outreach services are Northern and Western Metro. Yeah.
And how can those who require your services get in contact with you?
Got an intake line that people can call, or we've got a website that people can check out. Yeah.
Well, thank you for letting us know about Elizabeth Morgan House, and I hope all goes well for you.
Yes, thank you. And we're trying really hard to be more LGBTI inclusive. It's one of our main goals.
I'm Greer, and with me is Saromza. Now, Saromza, tell us about the organisation you're with.
Sure. So I work for an organisation called VACA, which is the Victorian Aboriginal Childcare Agency, and my job itself is basically the LGBTI Inclusivity Project Officer. So, in a nutshell, I'm meant to basically get the Rainbow Tick accreditation into the organisation. So it's not an easy task, being the only one person in this position at VACA, which has over now probably 600 workers, and but yeah, it's just amazing to be able to have our first ever stall for the Midsumma Festival with alongside the Elizabeth Morgan House.
Obviously there's been a big need for the services you provide. What was the catalyst for providing those services?
Okay, so since 2016 was the very first attempt at trying to get the Rainbow Tick accreditation, and not one requirement was met. And it's got to that stage where it's now implemented as being mandated for the next 2 years. And it's something that we need to continue, obviously, for not just for the sake of getting a tick and a tokenistic, accreditation. We need to make sure that we continuously implement this, so we make sure that people who identify, such as ourselves, who actually can walk into these spaces and feel safe.
Well, that's wonderful. Obviously, Aboriginal rights and treatments have been forefront for a number of years, but seem to be. Do you feel as though they're getting better, the services being provided?
Well, it's funny because I think a lot of people have been sort of walking on eggshells, because it's one of those areas where a lot of people really still don't understand, and I guess for myself being particularly involved is because I come from lived experiences, and I guess it's like that thing of now educating people. A lot of people who identify still aren't even open with their sexualities as well. So it's something that we can't force upon people. It's just knowing that we are offering what we are as human beings, and we're actually just telling our stories, and hopefully there's a sense of a listening happening for us.
I think that's the important thing, is to say we're here. When you need us, come and contact us. So how can they contact you?
Yeah, sure. So you just get in touch with VACA. Basically, it's on 340 Bell Street. And so you can just drop by, say hello, literally. It's one of those places, really friendly, people are really nice. And I guess it's something that once we get more, of this flow happening, within time, it's going to be probably every festival from now on for the LGBTI community.
Hi, I'm Greer, and with me is Ruby and Catherine, Family Domestic Violence Services. So you were saying a moment ago that you've been around for a little over 40 years. Yep. So rather than just a headline, what sort of services do you provide?
We have a secure refuge for families fleeing from domestic violence, and we have an outreach service where we are able to interact with the community. We've played a strong role in the LGBTQI community for many, many years. We've advocated for the domestic violence services for the community, and that's why we're here at Midsumma. So really making sure that we get the word out so that people in the community that are suffering have an outlet and know that it's a safe space.
And Ruby, your involvement, what sort of activities are you involved in?
I'm the fundraiser and advocate for Cara House, so it's really important that we come to places like this. Obviously we're not fundraising, but it's really about us getting the word about, and if it's only one person who knows about Cara House, that's good for us. That's our work done today.
And how can people contact you?
We've got a website, so if they go to www.carahouse.org.au, they'll be able to find our services, the way that we outreach, and how to interact with us, as well as if people want to donate, we've got a Give Now link on the page as well.
Hi, I'm Greer, and I'm with Mary and Maxine at Midsumma, enjoying the hot, humid, sunny day. What brings you along today?
We were going for a very casual bike ride, and we saw all the marquees up, and we said, oh, let's go and check that out, and realised it was the start of Midsumma. Then we ran into some friends of ours, and we've been having a lovely time with them.
And have you been to Midsumma before?
Look, I have, but it was probably, we were just talking before, it was probably about 10 years ago. So I've had, a long time without coming, and we were just commenting on just how inclusive, like I'm a 64-year-old woman, and how life is so much different now than it was 40 years ago for young, LGBT people, and it's fantastic to see. And we've just gone through the stalls, and there's such variety, and the good thing is that it has encompassed all aspects of life. So for a 64-year-old woman, that's fantastic to see.
Oh, well, that's great to hear that you see that. I think I've seen it, the same change over the last 20 years in particular, how much more open society is.
Yeah.
Although to be a little bit controversial, I think there's some elements of a government that might be trying to push us back.
Exactly, but I don't think that will happen though. I think that there are some very strong forces in our up-and-coming youth, and we can get a bit cynical in our 60s and be concerned about who's following us, but like today I feel comfortable that there are people who have strong values in life that will be able to maintain that for us.
Thank you very much, and Mary and Maxine, enjoy the day. Elias, what brought you along to Midsumma today?
We just come every year. I've been coming every year since I was like 15, so this is probably like my 10th or so Midsumma by this point. Just come, why not,
And yourself?
Look, I recently moved to Melbourne, sort of like within the last 4 or 5 years, and so it's been one of those things now. It's that quintessential Melbourne experience, but one that I've really enjoyed coming with my partner now for 3 years. And look, just a great day. Sun's out, beers are out, it's just a great time.
And as you said, you've been coming since you're 15 years old. What does that mean to you personally?
I think it's just like every year it sort of grows and you just see more people coming together, and it's just a celebration of not only what I identify as gay, but it's not only gay, it's lesbian, it's trans, it's everything else under the spectrum, and it's just beautiful to see everyone together under one umbrella, just celebrating together. It's beautiful, it's fun, and no one cares who you are, no one cares what you're doing, you're just getting together with your mates and having a good time. That's what it is.
Good. We've got our little spread set up.
Okay. I'm Greer and I'm with Sue for Elder Abuse Prevention now. Sue, could you tell us a bit about the organisation?
So I work for Peninsula Health, and we're part of a pilot in Victoria that's trying to support workers who are identifying or concerned about elder abuse that's going on at home. So not in residential care. We want to know about what's happening in people's private spaces and how we can support people to change what's going on and feel stronger to stand up against any elder abuse that they're experiencing. It could be financial, emotional, social, and that's very much why we want to be here at Midsumma.
Is elder abuse sort of predominantly, say, family-based?
Elder abuse happens at home. It's a form of family violence, and the perpetrators are usually family members. So it's either the intimate partner or adult children, friends. They're people who are trusted by the older person, and therefore that makes it really difficult for the older person to do something about it.
And being at Midsumma, obviously a LGBTIQ plus event, do you find that that's becoming prevalent within that community, or is it just such a broad issue that it's hard to define?
Well, it's a broad issue. We know there's more violence in some of the communities, and we want to raise awareness around that. And also the biggest issue is people not feeling that they can do anything about it, or that they can get the support they need to change their situation. So we're here to say that you don't have to feel unsafe, that you can do something, and that there are services to help you do something.
So on that note about how do they go about contacting you or being in touch with you?
So we support the workers. So the idea is that if someone is at home and has a professional, like a direct care worker or a doctor or a nurse or a gardener, even the bank teller, and they're concerned that the older person is at risk, that they can contact us and we can help them work out where to go and how they can create a safety plan for people.
So is a simple way they can initiate that contact?
Yeah, so Seniors Rights Victoria is probably the single best place to go to, and they have beautiful advocates over the phone to give advice, and also they have lawyers available to give older people advice about what legal action they can take and change their situation.
I'm Greer and I'm with Marie and Mark about Rainbow Band, and 25 years it's been going. So what's important about the Rainbow Band for you?
For me, they're a fantastic group of people. And I asked someone once why everyone was so accepting and friendly and open. When you join, it's just like coming into a family. And they said because of the experiences they've had. So we've got some trans people of all different sorts of sexualities. And so they're a very compassionate group, but they're just lovely to play with. They're just lovely.
Totally biased,
of course, totally biased. And Mark, what's your involvement?
My involvement has been over the last 17 years. And I play clarinet as well as Marie. And my involvement has been with committee and running the band and being involved in organising concerts, coming to Carnival, going to Pride March, hanging out at Australia Day at Mount Macedon, and making sure that this ensemble gets as much exposure and inclusiveness of all people that we can.
So how many people would you have in the band, the actual playing band?
Okay, so at our rehearsals we have probably about between 35 and 45 people turn up. Over the 25 years we've had about 320 people who have come through the band as well.
Do people have to be really skilled musicians to join?
Well, I think it's the thing of like, we need you to be able to play music in some form. You'll always get better coming to a group and playing in the ensemble. So come down, try it out Thursday night in Paran, and you can enjoy the actual ensemble and try out, see what you think.
And how do they actually go about contacting you?
Easy, jump on Facebook, go in there and say the Melbourne Rainbow Band, or Google it or search it however you like. We've got a website, we've got the whole works. Check us out and make contact.